And we are live, barely.
Better late than never.
Oh.
What is up, beautiful people? Look for the Mythos Kush Renata from the channel, Frost and Fists.
I am.
He's freaking tired is what he is.
Very unlucky.
And freaking hungry.
Sorry.
And freaking unlucky.
Yeah.
All right, so we got quite a bit of chat already. Of course, we are running a bit behind, but we apologize for that.
Sorry.
A few ones tonight.
Hey, Running Bear.
He's still working on his dinner there.
Yeah.
Atomic Dog is here, waiting on me to finish downing my saltines. Let's see. Dane is in the house. Running Bear's in the house. Archer's in the house.
Hi.
Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak says one burrito down. Now tacos.
Yeah, man, can put some tacos away.
Running Bear says, how is everyone tonight? He says he's hungry. Mythos is salty. He knows how it goes.
Yeah. Look at that. About to see what my fortune is.
And
It's been
freak
pretty
is
crappy here lately, so let's see how... It'll probably say, please stop touching me. Okay. Well...
We got Dave in the house. Dave says, check out GW's Heavy Metal Painter, Darren Lantham Miniature Painting Channel. It's great. We'll have to check that out.
You will soon be receiving an important email. Be like, freak, please collect your things and be ready to be escorted out the door.
Darren Lantham has a great video on highlighting Black Space Marines.
We saw that one, actually. Looks pretty good.
Archer's multitasking. He's got the live stream up on his second monitor while playing WoW Classic on his primary monitor.
Hey, that is very good, my man.
That sounds like a good Friday night right there.
Right? Have us on and then kick back with some little WoW Classic? Man, you can't get it, man. I gotta drink some more of this coffee. That's good right there.
WoW Classic, do they still do 40-man raids? We'll check it out, but I am thinking of doing a real gritty Iron Hands color scheme. Cool. Mythos and Freak are begging their wives to come out and play right now. I think standard heavy metal painting schemes are okay. I want to take my painting further. I don't like plain with crag blue armor on Ultramarines and a bit of wash and thin edge highlights. Lives before wives.
Oh, wow. Well, that's the problem, though. If you take that mindset, you may not have a life. Just saying. And all the wives said, yeah.
Running Bear says, prime black, dry brush a bit of silver, then wash. I have put together about 6 different inks, then a little dry brush of silver, another ink, and then dry brush of silver.
Cool.
Building up layers of highlights.
Very nice.
Running Bear says, hey, Mythos and Freak. Kneel to the orcs, Dave says. Do you ever not have a lively chat when I'm here? It's always a live chat when you're around me, man.
Yep. That's how we do.
Say you will soon be tabled by orcs. Turn 2. Wow.
Man, kind of aggressive, aren't we?
I have 8 gigabytes of footage to dig through tonight. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Those tacos must have been good because Brian says he's got some greasy fingertips. That's why you take the mindset to heart before you have a wife. Emperor gives you all the love we need. Mike Hawkins in the chat. Imperial Fist character is nothing more than Johnny Bravo on...
Hey, we're not ready for that yet. You just don't jump the gun there, Bubba. You hang on to that. I'll get to
it. We haven't seen Mike in months. He just jumps on to press your button.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that yet, man. Don't get me all crunk dumped here.
Red sauce is dripping down Brian's chinny chin chin. Archer saw somebody do an Iron Warriors conversion of that new character, by the way, and he says the Iron Warriors version is better.
I Don't want to get into it yet. Don't get me started.
Everybody just jumped in the chat to press Freaks Hot buttons.
Yeah, not yet. Not yet.
That's right. We start the show with a hobby update. Do you have any hobby update this week, my brother?
Oh, you're serious? Oh,
Actually, would you like to give them the rundown on our averted timetable tonight? Let them know what kind of runs you're rolling tonight.
So I decided, I get home from work right around 6 o'clock, and typically I'd do that, take the wife out to dinner, and then by the time we get home, it's enough time to do show prep, and we have a great show. This show right here, it's like it's pasta. Threw up against the wall and see if it sticks. So we go out to dinner. And suddenly, our favorite Vietnamese restaurant that we normally have the Vietnamese soup, pho, right? Happens to be closed because they're remodeling their kitchen. Great. All they have is a little handwritten sign, "Sorry for being closed." So okay, great. So we'll go ahead and we'll go to the place next door. There's another place. It's all about 15 miles from our house, and so we get in our car, I go to start my car, and it goes like, wah, 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 like just like that. Wah, wah. It's not like a duck. Wah. Anyway. So I'm like, great. So you know what? Let's just gonna walk to the place next door, and we'll order our food, try to relax, and have a decent dinner. So I called my son-in-law, who is like 35 miles away, just getting off of work. And I tell him, hey, you think you can swing by here before you go to the house and, give us a jump? No problem. I figure it's going to take him an hour. Took him 15 minutes. I never even got to start on my soup. So I had to go out again, walk to where my car was, get it jumped, drive it back to the restaurant where my wife was sitting at, wait for her, have her pay for both our meals, have her get in the car, we drive to AutoZone so we can get the battery changed out. And there were like two guys working there. They're butt busting, they're working hard, and everybody's battery must have died at the same time because they were replacing batteries left and right. So here we are waiting in line, like, oh my gosh.
Dave says your duck sound in the car is a Scrooge McDuck car.
Probably was. I used to watch that as a kid. Anyway, so yeah, by the time the guy replaced the darn battery, it was like I sent the message to Mythos, I'm on my way, and yep. So Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak Brian, guess what? No Chaplain Emo tonight. You're welcome, just for you. Anyway, but we're still going to have a great show tonight. We still got a lot to talk about. pretty excited, as you can see. Just a little salty.
Zane says your car wasn't working because of the EMPs from the aliens from Area 51.
Yeah. You know that's going on right now.
Brian is cheering yes in the chat. Honey Bear says, remember to feed the hamsters, Freak.
Every now and then. I think that's what happened. I didn't feed him this time.
Dave says it's not a car, it's an orc truck, which means you just need to believe it can go faster.
That's a good point. Wow.
Atlas says, praise God, Emperor, no emo.
Wow. So much emo animosity. Yeah, he does look. We're not going to get into it yet. Just wait till we get to it. You guys are just jumping right into the fray here.
Which reminds me, though, we do have an Art of the Week submitted by Inquisitor Zane.
Yep. Was that one of them that you sent, Mythos?
Yeah, that's one of the ones I sent.
Okay.
So we do have a few things. So there has been very little like modeling going on this week because
It's just been crazy.
I had the ick earlier this week,
And
so
now I got
I didn't do a lot of
it.
sleep this week.
Hear it? I got it.
Yeah, and then not to mention between the flooding here in Houston and all that, it's just been kind
Yeah,
of a crazy
I'm
week.
retarded. And I take
We,
medication. I took medication for this, so I'm groggy as all get up.
although you did some hobbing in the form of the new Bigfoot game, right?
Oh yeah. So
You and Nina.
right, me and Nina Chick, we actually we've been watching. Well, I know I've been watching a lot of let's plays on this game called Bigfoot. It's on Steam. It's a great game, and it's pretty cool. So basically, it's a co-op, or you can do a solo. So you dropped off in the middle of the woods with you by yourself or some friends, and the goal is to capture, kill Bigfoot. I think within 7 days, and holy cow, man, that was so. A little incident happened here. Uh, so Nina Chick and I were playing, and of course I had the lights out. I only had this one light on, and had the headphones on, and you just get the feel of the surrounding of the environment, right? It's very woodsy environment. There's a day and night cycle, weather cycle, rains, and not. Uh, and the crazy thing is, we so we're Nita Chick is like, all right, let's go do this. She's got all these ideas. And I'm like, okay, whatever. We'll just have fun hanging out. And we come across this camp, and she says, "Oh, look, there's some tents." I said, "Yeah, tents. Let's just check to see if they got any resources to get out." Well, I think we hear him. Okay, well, let's run. No, let's hide inside the tent. Nay, nay, that's a very bad idea. I don't think we should do that. Yeah, he shouldn't see us in the tent. I don't know why, but I said, fine, let's just hide the tent. We zipped the tent up behind us. We were inside a little pop-up tent, and she's got her flashlight on. Like, turn it off. Serious, this is all in game. She turns it off, and she's moving. Like, and you can hear her rustling. I said, keep still. You're gonna get us killed. I'm trying. Yes, scary movie music in the background, indeed. Because I'm sitting here like I don't like to be enclosed like that, and the game just became really real to me. Well, I'm like, okay, and you could hear, and it started raining a little bit, so you could hear droplets on the actual tent. So we hear nothing for about a minute, and so Nina Chick says, "I think he's gone." So she starts moving towards the door, kind of listening towards that end. I said, Nina, keep still before I was in here. Ah! I mean, this thing, this big old freaking ape guy just come here, just slammed down on the uh, on the tent, smashed the tent. I'm laying like this. He picks me up, literally grabs me with one arm, looks at me, slams me down, then pummels me like an ape, takes Nita Chick, hurls her 20 feet. The whole time, I'm screaming like, ah! Ah! Screaming like a little 3-year-old girl. And my wife is asleep. At least she was.
Oh, not anymore.
That door right there went, "Ee." And she's like, what are you doing? Why are you so loud? I'm like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I had my headphones on, I had no idea. I was screaming like a little, and she's like, I cannot believe, do you know what time it is? She's all sleepy eyed. Can't even probably see me. I'm apologizing like crazy. Here we got killed by Bigfoot, and I'm going to get killed by my wife.
And that's scarier than any horror
You
game.
ain't lying. You ain't lying at all.
I know from when my lovely lady gives me that look.
So yeah, and so that was a lot of fun. And again, if you ever play a game with Nina Chick, don't ever listen to her. All right, I'm just saying she's a great gamer, a lot of fun to play, lay along with, great co-op. But don't listen to anything she tells you to do because she'll get your ass killed. She decided, well, there's a pop-up or a pool temp or a camper, right? A camper trailer. She goes, let's hide in there. I was like, okay, that's not a bad thing, right? Would Bigfoot attack you from in the safety of a trailer, a camper trailer? And we set a trap, one of those big old bear traps. Put a chunk of meat, hit it, turn the lights off. We waited. That dude goes, busts open the side of the door, comes in, didn't come after me, went after Nina Chick, started pounding her in the head, goes around of the outside of the camper, busts a window to try to grab her, and then comes back in and starts beating the tar out of me, kills her. Bad idea. No, anyway, it's a fun game. You got to check it out. It's called Bigfoot. It's on Steam. It's like $15. A lot of fun.
That's pretty cool. So we have a couple of comments here. When you're talking about capture or killing Bigfoot, Zane said capture him and then clap his cheeks. Mike Hawkins said, Mythos, check our group chat while Freak is rambling. And, of course, he posted up a gif of Johnny Bravo.
Y'all need to stop!
Forge the Wild. Brother Atlas says, scary movie in the background. Lol. Typical Friday the 13th teenage cast sounds like. Running Bear says, have some Jack Link's jerky. You will be fine. Brian says, hey, let's ask this old guy with a knife for direction. Zane says we need to get Freak to do a live stream with the VR horror game and 360 surround sound.
Oh my God, you guys will get it.
I think Freak would have a really, really good time in VR horror.
Oh my gosh, you guys would. I know you guys would definitely have a good time.
I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of horror because I'm a guy who can't play horror games, right? I can't take how intense it is. I like to watch Let's Plays because I like to watch other people play horror games. I just don't have the stomach for it. But my brother, Darklight Dreamer, Let's Player on YouTube, or Former or something, but he got this headset once, and he let me play. Gosh, what was it called? I think it was called Pupil or something like that. Something about a student, and you're in this school, and you're going through, and it's like an abandoned school or something like that, and it's haunted, and of course, it's like a Japanese school or something like that. And anyways, yeah.
Oh, Senpai.
Oh my God. Just horror in VR is so different than horror like on the screen, because at least as immersive as that is, at least when the horror is on the screen, it's over there, right? The screen is over there. When you're in VR, I hate anything that makes you turn in a VR horror, because you're just terrified every time you turn. You're like, I don't want to look back. Because sometimes when you turn, it's like literally right here in your face. Man, so it really got me once. I went and investigated in this game Pupil, went to the nurse's office, and I'm looking around for clues. And I come to around the nurse's desk, and you see the sheet separating the beds, right? And you see somebody, the sheet is drawn. You see the shadow of someone sitting on the bed, and you can hear this female voice crying. And I'm just like, oh, shit. So I'm like putting off going over there, right? I'm like trying to keep an eye on the sheet, and I'm like rummaging through the nurse's desk to see if there's any clues. And I'm like just searching everywhere but the beds, right? And then finally there's no other clues, so I'm like, I got to go over there. And I am just dreading it. And again, I'm not good at playing horror games because the nerves get to me. And I'm like inching my way around this curtain, right? And I come to the sheet, and finally I'm just like, I'm going to go for it. And I peek around the sheet. I finally I get the sack, to be able to do it. I peek around the sheet. Nothing's on the bed. And I'm like, what the heck? And I look on the other side of the sheet, and the shadow is still there. And then I peek around the sheet again, and nothing's there. I'm like, wow, that's really trippy. But I thought that was it. I thought it was just an atmospheric creep kind of thing. Anyways, the bed is on the right, and I double check it. I mean, I look at everything. I look at the pillows. I look at the sheets. I'm like, okay, nothing is there. Okay. So the empty bed is to my right. There's a clipboard to the left. And I make sure I search everything else. Okay, nothing is in the room with me. I even look behind me because that's a thing. Nothing's behind me. So finally, I looked at the clipboard, and there's like a picture and some clue there about who the identity of the ghost is. I'm like, okay, that's a good clue. I'm glad I came in this room, and I didn't even think about it at that point. I set down the clipboard and turned to walk away, and right there, sitting on the bed, leaning over at me, was like a dress mannequin with like scissors sticking out of it, like a scalpel sticking out of it, sewing needles sticking out of it.
Yeah, no.
Shot needles, just like all kinds of stuff. It's just the mannequin was leering right at here in my face. And Darklight, I was just telling them about the time you had me play the 3D horror Pupil. And yeah, that mannequin with all that stuff sticking out of it was right here in my face. And it just felt so close. Freak. It was like I would never get this experience from a screen 2 feet away from me. Right? It was literally like right here. Anyways,
God, I don't know. I know I would scream like, yeah, I'd lose my mind.
Darklight had said that he wished he had been filming me because when that thing popped up, I was just swinging at nothing.
Oh my God.
Let's see. Archer got his copy of Raven Guard early. Awesome.
Congrats.
Should have told her to go do stuff in Taylor. I guess they're talking about Nina with your Bigfoot experience. Should have told her to go do stuff and tell her. Use her as bait. Talking about the Raven Guard supplement, Archer says, I wish they gave more organizational and markings information for their chapter. I'm surprised people are playing Templars and Raven Guard. They are rare armies. I think these new supplements that they're doing for everybody will have them playing armies we haven't seen on the tabletop in a while. Dave says, Archer, they give you chapter markings in the supplement, but then realize the transfer sheets don't even have them. Mike says, hello there, pretty Xenos. Mike Hawkins, don't you want Emo HQ, don't you? Or you don't want Emo HQ, do you? More than I want Johnny Bravo. Until Dawn is really good. Yeah, Until Dawn is really good. And the VR of it, Rush of Blood is really good too. I'm tempted to get you Rush of Blood if y'all live stream it and still have a PSVR. I have a PSVR. Freak does not though.
Yeah, I did that. We'll talk about it later.
All right. Made by the people who did Rush Until Dawn and is so well designed, it gives you the yeah, I actually really enjoyed that game. Darklight Dreamer had me play that game. And it was like my first shooter on the PSVR, actually. Ravenhurst mod for 7 Days to Die has some really creepy sounds at night. Cool. Dave says, I was looking for the nurse's panties in the nurse's office. Inquisitor Zane says it is worse to have controlled like that or to be on a set path in VR horror. Is it worse? I don't know. I think both have their place because one, the control is taken away from you, which also kind of like digs into that fear factor. But then having control and being able to move around, though, you have to realize that every movement has consequence. Like I brought up earlier, there are certain games where I'm just like, man, I don't want to turn around right now. Let's see. I'm just curious, guys. Has anyone pissed their pants but thought it was part of the VR game? That's funny. That's Brian, of course. Forge the Wild says, Freak plus 5 Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted equals VR, please. Darklight Dreamer says he still has Rush for Blood in physical form. If I want, I can borrow it. Zane says, I would mail you my copy of it just to see a live stream of it because cost of shipping is probably more than the game. Well, although Zane, my brother Darklight Dreamer does have it, and he lives just around the corner at the moment. Darklight, do you remember playing People together when you had me first check it out? That was really awesome. The new Imperial Fist chapter badge will be crossed combs under a pair of sunglasses, lol.
It's starting that crap.
He is really on the Johnny Bravo kick.
Oh, mama.
Hoo ha hoo.
Ho, ho, ho. Hey there, buddy. Man, that's sassy.
Al Kirkham just joined us. Good evening, Al.
Hey.
All right. Other hobby updates. Again, neither of us really did a whole lot of modeling, but we did have a great game on Saturday. We did not get a chance to record it, unfortunately.
We saw.
Most of it was just spent trying to look for a good place to play.
Yeah.
Darklight says, "Yeah, I miss gaming together in general." But dude, you're off tomorrow, and we now have the day off, so we'll be able to hang out tomorrow. Getting to hang out with Darklight Dreamer tomorrow, that's going to be awesome. So we had a game Saturday, and we went to our local Warhammer store, and the Warhammer store had been slow the last 2 or 3 times that Roxas and I went to check it out. And so we thought it would be free, we'd be able to get into game. And we got there, and there was a game on one table. And then there was a secondary table that was kind of set up for something. And then somebody asked, "Hey, is this table available to play on?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, you can just move that stuff." And then another person jumped on it. But then their friend was late, and after they'd been sitting there 10 minutes, like, "Yeah, it's taking my friend a long time to get to the store." The store manager said, "All right, so table's anybody's fair game right now." I said, "Freak, you want to jump on?" Yeah, as soon as I said that, I picked up my box. Other guy's friend came through the door, and they set up a game. So we just barely missed being able to get that table. So we were there for about 20 minutes, and then we just weren't going to be able to get a game. 2 games of one Age of Sigmar game, 140K games just started. So we know they'd have the table for a couple hours. So we ended up packing up and going down to Humble, the next town over, to Etten Games, and that ate up some time right there. By the time we got the whole mat pulled out, got terrain set up there at the new place, it was just, we had lost at least an hour and a half of playtime. So there was just no time to record. And then the new place said they waited until we already committed. We were like most of the way there.
Right.
And they called back and said, "Actually, at 7 p.m. tonight, we have a Magic the Gathering tournament, so you guys need to be finished up by 7. That left us just 2 hours to play. Yeah, there was definitely no filming at that point. We just kind of threw everything on the table. Oh, and then also we had an odd number of players. So our buddy Lars brought his Sisters Battle, which is awesome, but there was no one, none of the other members of our group had their army, so we ended up running a 3-way, which of course, a 3-way game takes a little bit longer. It was kind of neat though. I mean, so despite all this, we were really in a time crunch, but for 2 turns, we actually flowed pretty well. What do you think of the game, Freak? You want to give a little bit of the recap from your point of view?
Oh, I thought it was pretty funny because we were all each at about 1,800 points of army, and of course, setup was a nightmare because we were trying to figure the best way to, set each other far enough from each other, but reasonably within distance and all that crap. So, oh man, once we got started, that was it. He brought his Sisters Battle, man, and he went first. And he wound up wiping my Predator and Mythos, what is it, Speed?
Landspeeder.
Landspeeder, yeah. I mean, just wiped it. First turn.
And took a couple of my troops off the table, too.
Yeah. But we definitely took him out. I mean, it was a lot of fun. So we were playing we're playing the Comet. He's never played it. We figured, he'll probably have fun with it. Typically, you want to drop it at the beginning of the 3rd turn. We didn't even get that far. I mean, we were 2nd turn. We went and dropped the Comet, and it landed right by my army, right next to me. It's like, that never happens. So
typically, if you've seen any of our former battle reports, I let Freak roll the dice, and when Freak rolls the dice, he always rolls for the dice to be the Comet to be in my backyard.
Yeah.
This time we let the guests roll, so we had Lars. Why don't you go ahead and roll?
Yep.
He rolled it right in Freak's backyard on the opposite side of the table from Lars himself. So he ended up. I mean, he had a really strong army, really strong build, but he ended up being, not a contender for the Comet at the end. Of
Yeah.
course, on the limited time constraint, he would have had to drive around. We had a great big line of sight blocking terrain in the middle.
Yeah.
He would have had to drive around my army or Freak's army to contest the objective. So it was just in the worst possible place for Lars.
Yeah, we had plenty of firepower, so if he would have anywhere he would have walked around, he would have been met with a lot. So Mythos started making a beeline for the Comet. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, I switched my Castellan robots into turret mode.
Went after my aggressors.
His two biggest firepower threats close to the objective, his aggressors and his hellblasters, I just mowed them down. And then I had dropped my infiltrators right next to the Comet, and I made a charge into the land rail. I was like, so this is end of turn 2. If we call it right here, I mean, it could play out either way if we keep the game going, because you have more troops over here. You could park on top of this. I've got a lot of guns. I could keep trying to shoot you off this. I didn't even shoot with everything turn 2 because we were just trying to speed through, and the guys were like, guys, time. And so I had a lot of stuff I could keep shooting. So it really could have gone either way. He could have ended up with more bodies on the objective, or I could have completely shot him off the objective.
Yeah.
And then, of course, even though I don't think Lars could have held the objective, because he would have had to dig through a lot of points of either army, he still could have been a deciding factor, either eating away at mine or Freak's back line while trying to contest the objective. So a lot of variables could have happened here. But as it was at the end of turn 2, I charged him with my infiltrators. He had the Land Raider 1 model sitting on the objective. So I charged it. If I made the charge, I would have more models on the objective. If I failed the charge, he would have more models on the objective. So at the end of the game, I ended up succeeding my charge. I actually missed my charge. And so I spent a command point, rolled 1 dice that I needed to make a 5 up on, and rolled exactly a 5 and made it in to get on top of the objective. So it was like kind of a victory, but more of a draw, because if it had been a prolonged engagement, really could have gone either way.
Overall, it was a fun game. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I just really enjoyed getting in there and rolling some dice, taking some models off the table.
And after that, I think the night got even better because some of our old friends that we used to hang out with back in the old when we first started, when I first started playing Warhammer, and we actually went to go have some Mediterranean to a place there, and oh man, the food was great. We had a good time.
Yep, we actually spent a lot of time talking about role-playing games, and things like D&D, things like other RP games we've been in. It was very cool. Talking about our mishaps trying to find a table and trying to find a place to play. Zane said y'all shouldn't have brought Freak. His bad luck rubbed off on everything.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Because Mythos says, yeah, every time we've been to this Warhammer store, it's always open. I even said that when I was over there. Like, you guys know I'm here, right?
Yeah. He's like, are you sure we'll be able to get in the game? I said, there's always been at least one table open, Freak. He's like, yeah, but I'm coming, right? he joked about it, but then we got there and there was no tables open.
Yep. I mean, we did a nice thing. I mean, we could have ganked the guy for taking our table, but probably wouldn't have been invited back. So. Let's see.
Let's see. Mike says, I dig the new logo, guys.
Oh, thank you.
Inquisitor Dane said turret mode. That's a bit too cheesy for a friendly game. Al Kirkham also says the logo looks great. Thanks, guys.
Oh, thank you.
But yeah, so, I mean, it didn't go exactly as planned, and we did not have a super clear winner in the end, but it was a really good time. And, man, Lars' Sisters of Battle, they're glass cannons, right? The sisters are kind of easy to kill.
Oh, yeah.
But they always do a ton of damage with all their melter weapons. And he's got those things that look like church organs that do melted damage from all the way across the
Yeah,
board.
he did a lot of melted damage from all the way across the table.
Yeah, I mean, he just laid down a lot of damage. It was great.
Yeah. Well,
Um, some other key moments. He sent his Valkyries over to the mountain where Freak was hiding his scouts, just trying to get fielded, some field advantage there, right?
yep.
But I was sneaking my infiltrators along the base of the mountain, so my infiltrators snuck over to just. There was just two. Gosh, what are they called? There's the Valkyries with the melted guards. I can't remember what they're called, but there was two of those, which would have been easy for my or which was easy for my priest to kill. And once they kill a unit, of course, they get their 3-up invul for the rest of the game. Man, a blob of 20 electro priests. I love running that. They are just they're kind of hard to kill with their first of all, it's a 5-up invul, 5-up feel no pain, and then it becomes a 3-up invul, 5-up feel no pain.
They're
just
nasty.
Yeah, they're pretty nasty. There's a unit that my opponent has to deal with. Mythos, did you get one of those AdMech tugboat things?
Not yet.
I did not. I might get one eventually. I just don't really have a spot in my list for it right now. I don't know what I would do with the transport because I usually run my melee units. I mean, the infiltrators can teleport, or stealth anywhere on the field. They get their 9-inch deep strike. The electro priests, usually I keep them in blobs of 20, so they don't really fit into the attack boat. The cannon option is okay, but I've got Onager Doomcrawler that kind of do a similar role. So I'm not really sure what I would use the boat for. I do kind of want to paint one up, though. Zane says that's a bit too cheesy for a friendly game, I think, at least in my opinion. I brought 2 Castellan robots, and they killed a full 20 immortal, a full squad of 20 immortals in one shooting phase.
Well,
Could have been warriors, whichever one the fancy.
just to be fair, Zane, I mean, I did have a pretty heavy shooty army, and with the new updates on the Primaris, he was definitely utilizing his tools properly, because otherwise it would have been bad. I mean, with the extra, with those aggressors getting an additional wound, I mean, I think it was pretty fair for him to pull out the big guns for that.
You're right, though. The Castellan robots can be pretty nasty. Although, Freak has actually told me that when I bring my AdMech list, he's like, no, do it, man. Run Mars. Run your Belisarius Call plus Castellan combo. Bring with the strongest shooter list you can, because the more I face your AdMech, the better I think it is going to make me at facing Tau.
Yep.
So I've actually said, maybe I'll change up my AdMech list before, because this can be kind of mean, but he said, no, man, bring it. I want to face the challenge.
Yep, bring the heat. And there are times that I can hold them off for a while, and it helps me to actually get a better strategy, understand the way his play style, but most of all, what I should really concentrate, the most on his on that army. So, Stellan robots, man, and those freaking infiltrators. Oh God,
he really hates the infiltrators. Nothing will make Freak's dice rolls better.
I'd be upset if it weren't true,
That was turn 1 of my 500-point game. I felt really bad after that. I just wanted to see how good the Castellan robots were.
They are, man.
Bringing 2 Castellan robots to a 500-point game, I think. I think that's a little bit different than bringing them to an 1,800-point game.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Woo. That's pretty toasty.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't really done a lot of hobby myself. The game was definitely the highlight as far as hobby goes. I did manage to get the heat bloom effect done up, and I did a little recording on those, so I might get those up as tutorials at some point.
Awesome.
I got the sealing done on them just today or yesterday, which I really like. I think my new method for doing decals really works, because now that I've got them sealed up, these decals really do look almost painted on. So, and it's really simple. I might do a little video,
Torio.
but a lot of people say they struggle with the decals, but I think doing the
Me.
gloss
Me, me,
wash,
me, me. Me. I do.
doing the gloss wash, I hit it with the heater, the hair dryer, I mean, to kind of melt it on. I do the little bit of microsol, microset, and then I matte seal it later on, and it just looks painted on. So Mike says, "Filthy towel." The one thing worse than Johnny Bravo Marines. Wow. I just had a patrol with the tech priest, 2 data smiths, 2 infantry squads, and the Castellan robots. So I wanted to see how well they would do against what people brought. Sounds like a pretty good 500-point list, my man.
Yeah.
So I was joking around with the guys. I said, 4 weeks to get 3 bikes done. I should have a White Scars Army by the time 12th edition rolls around. But the other one thing I managed to do this week is got me a Forge World Scimitar bike to be my Wrath of
That's
Heaven
cool, man.
for my Con-On bike, and I got it built up and primed. It actually came in not too many parts. I was pleasantly surprised. These fins I thought were going to be kind of little fiddly bits, but they actually seem to be okay. So pretty excited. I got it nice and primed up. Going to get it. I need to look to see where I want to put my Space Wolves Gray highlights, and then my bright white. I mean, not highlights. My Space Wolf Gray shades, and then my bright white highlights on it. And I mean, one bike shouldn't take too long to get painted up. I need to get a bigger drill bit because I got a ball magnet bearing from Green Stuff World, because we all know GW flight stands can be kind of iffy, and I didn't want my nice Con-On bikes being snapped off. So I need to get a bigger drill bit, but it came with a nice little ring magnet to go inside here. And then on the flight stand is a ball magnet. You just kind of plop it on, and you can tilt it and angle it however you want. Pretty cool. But it'll be a nice little way to keep it magnetized and not have to worry about it snapping off of its base. So that's the only thing. This one bike, assembling it, is all I did this week. So not a lot of progress. I did have to do a little converting because it comes with a heavy bolter at the end. And of course, I'm using it as a fancy White Scars bike, which has a twin linked bolter instead of a heavy bolter. So I did a little chopping and cutting. I took a couple of bolters off of a Scout bike and glued them together and put them on the end of this heavy bolter here. And they kind of fit right on the end there. So kind of like that. I haven't glued them in yet because I want to paint it separately and then glue it in. But yeah, one bike. That's all I did all week. And of course, like I said, the heat bloom effects for my tutorial. So that's pretty cool. Enough about you. Let's talk about me, Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, that's what Johnny Bravo would say.
Zane says some of the other people brought some cheesy lists, and I had never tried them, and my opponent was one of the few people who were not being cheesy. Oh, you accidentally cheesed one of the few non-cheesy people. One dude showed up to the 500-point game with a Renegade Imperial Knight. That sucks.
Wow. Wow.
See, what you do then is you put your Castellan robots in turret mode and just keep activating Wrath of Mars over and over again, and just roll for those mortal wounds. You look pretty. I look pretty. Why don't we go home and stare at each other?
I gotta find some Johnny Bravo. I love that show.
Me too. Me too. So yep, that was. I think that's all my hobby update. I didn't really do anything this week. We did get a. I don't know if we got a shout out or something. We got like 4 new subs this week. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know where they came from, but that was great.
All right, I guess we go on to some art of the week, my brother.
Art of the week. All right, here's the first one. Ciao. Wait till it updates on your end. So, yeah, let's talk about this guy.
Man, I'm pretty.
Man, I'm pretty. So, I like the pose. I like the Primaris armor. I like everything about him except for the freaking head. Why? Oh my god! What the heck? Okay, he looks like the soldier on Toy Soldier. Okay, but when people start saying Johnny Bravo, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, looks just like Johnny Bravo. Why? Why the heck does he freaking look like? Now, here's the thing. Great stats. I think in a all-out brawl between him and Lysander, we'll talk about that in a little bit, but I think it'd be pretty. I think he'll put a hurting on him. But come on! What the heck? Why? Why you gotta have a blockhead? He's a blockhead. It's a brick with hair. Makes no freaking sense. This is what you gave us, GW? Come on! You couldn't come up with something. All the poses, all the really cool heads that you throw out there for everybody else. This is the guy you give us?
I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool.
Man,
I think you're being a little harsh, my man.
I don't know. I mean, again, I like the pose. I like the model. The model itself looks great. But it's like, it's this almost the same look that Dorn has. That same constipated look. Why? Are our fists that retarded? I mean, we're part of the retarded army, sir. You know, the look. Come on. It just, I don't know. I think they could have done a better job. Yeah, you're right. Maybe a helmet. I liked, okay, don't get me wrong. I like the fact that they'll at least try to make it as a character, like Lysander. You see his face. But if you look at Lysander just looks like he's just pissed at the world. You can see it. He's unique. He doesn't look like everybody else. He's just got that, I'm going to smash you with this freaking hammer, right? He's got that look. But this guy, he just looks like every other toy soldier.
What up, Rexus?
You know, it's just one of those things. So, yeah. I mean, I just don't understand why they went that route. So, I don't know. I mean, am I being a little salty? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Because I think out of all the different minis, all the models they could have had, everything they gave, everything that they put out there. Now, we're going to blockhead this guy. Boom, there you go, Fist. That's for you guys. So, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it looks like. The guy just that's the look right there. With blonde hair.
You know, Zane says you could always slap a helmeted head on it.
Yeah, I mean, I may have to do that. But I mean, come on. I mean, why do I have to do that? Why should I?
Zane says because the Imperial Fists constantly have sticks covered in scrawling of the Imperial truth on them, firmly inserted into their rear end. Now it's time to compare Johnny Bravo or freaking his fist armor.
All right, hang on. Let's see here.
I think freaking the fist armor, you know.
Let me take off my. Let me see. Take the salt out. Let's see. Put that right over here. I don't know. I think I look better in the fist armor than Tor Garadon. Yeah. I don't know.
Al Kirkham says salty looks good on you, freak.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I live by salt.
Running Bear says at least it's only the head you don't like, so it's an easy conversion.
I know, but again, it's one of those things that why should we have to do that? You know? Okay, what was one of the recent models that came out? Okay,
Raven Guard.
Raven Guard.
Right.
He's a cool looking model. It's a cool looking model, man. I mean, the guy looks badass. Hair apart on the side. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna slice her face off. This looks really cool.
I actually like Shrike's hair over the eyes.
It's a cool model. It strikes confidence. It strikes deadliness. You look at this guy and you're like, you can't trust this guy. I mean, that's the first thing that comes in. It's a mind thing. This guy? I seen him in a cartoon. Yeah, this guy's funny. That's the first thing that people think. Look, everybody's calling him exactly what he looks like. Johnny Bravo, baby.
Apparently, the chat doesn't agree with me that I think the emo hair on Shrike looks amazing. You seem to like it too, but
I kind of do, because again, I like it because it reminds me of a book, character.
Yeah, and for me, I like it because a lot of anime I grew up with, the heroes had the hair over the eye like that,
Right. So,
Keith from Voltron, hair over the eye.
Yeah. I mean, when I was younger, I actually had the hair on the side. That's how it was.
Let's see, other ones. Tigurius, he doesn't have any hair. He just has the cornrows of tubes sticking out.
But even though that looks good, it's unique. It's unique.
I gotta say, I would prefer Torgarodon's head over Tigurius's head.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Wow.
I don't really like the aesthetic of the tube heads. Let's see, who else is there that's new? There's the Khan. Okay, the Khan's head that came out looks pretty cool.
Who?
The Khan.
Yeah. Looks great.
Corsair Khan. He was another one of the Primaris characters.
But he looks great. He looks like Khan.
Marnius Calgar is another Primaris character. His face looks pretty cool.
I just hang on. I got something for you.
He's got kind of the toy soldier thing kind of going on too.
Who does?
Marnius Calgar.
So let's see if I can do this right. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Anytime I see the Night Raven, all I hear in my head is "I am not okay. I am not okay." Doesn't look like a little bit like an emo rock star. I don't know, freak. That smiling face of yours in that armor can be a cardboard cutout placed outside of a family war gaming store. Don, come on in, everybody. Let's have some fun.
I mean, come on. You can't tell me he doesn't look like small soldiers. I mean...
Okay, Mike Hawkins agrees with us that Shrike looks badass.
Yeah, I do believe this stripe looks great.
Archer agrees with me that the new Primaris Tigurius head is kind of dumb. Zane says it's the pose of Shrike, which I think makes it look a bit too edgy. I don't know. I think he just looks like a badass. I really love everything about the new Shrike model. Zane says, I like it, but more on other models. Some Deathwing Knights look with those heads look edgy but cool. I don't really like anything about the Deathwing, but I think that's just my anti-Dark Angel side. That new Iron Hands guy looks like the guy from the diabetes commercial. Diabetes. Brian says he was looking at the year on this movie. He says, wow, 1998. Good grief, getting old.
I know. But I mean, so you got that, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then you have. Let me see if I can find it. You got. There. You got that guy. I just don't get it. I don't understand. I mean, he looks like Small Soldiers or Johnny Bravo.
I think he looks awesome.
You know what? I'm just happy we got something. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, up until the other day when we were at the game store, you weren't entirely sure that you were getting.
I know. So I mean, I get over the shock. I'll get over the saltiness. I mean, we got somebody. Again, dude. At first, when I kind of glanced over the stats,
Brian says Dolph Lundgren. Hey, that's one of my favorite '80s actors.
When I first saw those stats, I was like, I looked at him closer. I'm like, oh.
All right, you gotta watch the chat for a minute.
All right. So anyway, so let's cover the chat. Let's see. Where did we leave off anyway? I don't know. I'm not partial to fast attacks, but plus I think just like Chaos terms teams, but will not play Chaos for the Terminators. That's Quitter Zane. Wizard Zane heads would still look cool on standard veterans. Atomic Dog Scale Model Freak says, boom! Alright, every time I look at Strike, I hear the kid from And yes, he looks like Max Headroom. And okay, if you don't know who Max Headroom is, then you're definitely not a product of the 80s. Just saying. Why does he look like every villain? Oh, Drago, yeah. I must break you. Alright? Y'all don't know what that's from. Again, you are not a product of the 80s. Was that the 80s, guys? That was 3, wasn't it? Brian, correct me if I'm wrong. That was Rocky 3, right? Or was it 4? Rocky 3. Where he fights Drago, the Russian, right? I think that's right. Anyway. Inquisitor Zane says, Shrek does look great, but I don't know. I like the emo heads, but like I said, I think I am more partial to the upgrades for once for TAC Marines. Yeah. Hey, Roxas! I know what a Death Guard all done is different main signers from different types of rock.
That's Rocky 4, by the way, with Dolph Lundgren.
Okay. Where's Zane? Shark looks like the dude who's going to distribute some Chaplin emo style motivation to a Walmart area. Wow, man, come on, give him a little credit. Dude. I actually like Shrike. I do like that model. Is it strange that I like that model more than I like, the head of my own, Tor Garadon? I don't know. If he dies, he dies. Yeah. Yes. Oh, it was Rocky 4. Oh, wow. Okay. That's right. Okay, it was Rocky 4, and he fights the Russian. If he dies, he dies. He says that about Apollo Creed when he's laying on a mat. That was a great movie, man.
That is my favorite Rocky. Also, I love the song "No Easy Way Out" from that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably one of the best montages.
Yeah.
One of the best montages of all.
There's no shortcut. Oh.
It's a great movie, man.
There's no easy way
I
out.
love that song.
Give it and can't be wrong.
I hope they do Chaos supplements like they did for Loyalists. I lose it for that. Well, okay, Mike, I mean, they've been doing Chaos. That was the first thing that they broke out with. So, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, if you can have like individual supplements for,
Yeah, like a supplement for Night Lord,
yeah,
supplement.
that would actually would be pretty cool.
I
But
mean, technically, the campaign last year was kind of supplement Black Legion.
yeah, it kind of was. It passes Bridget Nielsen too. Yeah. He's cool, but easy to make fun too. Yeah, 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 yeah. To put Strike's head on your new character. Hey, that
You know,
might be a
actually,
thought.
that's probably an eBay bit you might be able to find
Yeah,
because
I might do
I'm
that.
pretty sure there's a lot of people who feel like, oh, the Shrike head is the new Spider-Man 3 head. And so some people might be putting that up on eBay. I might try and snag a couple of those.
Zane says, just don't push him too hard, or else you see him reaching into his bag. Walmart. Oh my god. By the way, I'm a
Oh,
little loopy because of the meds that I just took. It's supposed to help me with this sinus issue, and it's not doing anything, but it's definitely making me a little. So,
one cool thing I forgot to mention for my hobby update, I did
me?
get this in the mail. Well, package from Grumpy Guy Gaming. I can't wait to unbox that.
I can't wait to see. Maybe just a little too soon. I don't know. Probably not.
All right, what else we got for art of the week, my brother?
All right, so let's actually do the art of the week, shall we? Studio mode. Let's see. Art of the week. Bear with me here. All right, so actually, I'm gonna start with this. And we'll start with that. All right, so let's just dissect Torgodon, shall we? I mean, we're gonna cover his stats later on when we go through the GW news. But aesthetically, I think overall, or I'll wait till you get it updates on you. Let me know when it updates for you, Meet this.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I really do like the model. I really do. I like the beefiness of the armor.
That big ass power fist looks
Dude,
awesome.
that power fist is bigger than his head.
Yeah, he's got shoulders for days.
Bro, I mean, he can punch the crap out of a bus.
What do you think of that turret grav gun?
Dude, that is insane. It is ridiculous. I actually saw another one that actually had two of those turrets. I don't know if that was legit, but he had one on each shoulder. So I don't know if that's even a thing, but this is really crazy. I can't imagine this. Okay, this guy basically is he flat out can be a night buster. Okay, but again, we'll cover the stats in our GW news. But again, I like everything about him. Again, I'm just gonna say I'm not a fan of the square blockhead, but overall, I like the mini. No complaints around the whole thing, just the head. But I'll get past it. We actually got something really, really cool.
Yeah, and like I said, you could always put a different head, like Shrike's head, or you could put an aggressor head on there.
Yeah,
Aggressor head would probably fit pretty cool there.
yeah. So here you go. And I kind of okay. So if you compare that look on the mini compared to the actual fan or the art, I don't know, man. The art it just looks like he looks like a teenager's dad. You know, it's like, Dad, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Uh, he doesn't give that. I don't know, man. I'm sorry. Maybe I just don't see it, and I apologize. I don't mean to be a negative Nancy on all that, but again, he just does not give me. Okay, compare these two. Come on, look at the salamanders. The guy looks just amazing. He's all right. I'll just shut up about that. He's just anyway. All right. So let's just continue, shall we?
Okay, I helped freaks get salty. I'm going to call it a night. You guys have a good one. Mike is leaving.
Mike
Have a good
Hawkins,
night.
have a good night, brother. All right, Mythos. Here is what did I say?
Yep, that's my jet bike. As soon as I got it
I likes
assembled.
it a lot. Can't wait. I think those jet bikes look so cool, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. Little fins on the scimitar I thought were going to be fiddly to get on, but actually they just slapped right in place.
Very nice. Yeah, love the weapons in the front.
He's funny because I don't know the way it peeks out the front. I think it looks good with the double bolters there.
Yes.
One of the options there, though, is the plasma cannon. And the plasma cannon that comes out the front looks kind of phallic shaped. So I'm kind of glad I'm not using it.
Yeah. I like that. All right, art of the week. This one is by Lysidek Painting Studio. Lysidek Painting Studio.
This is a. Zane says, do it. Use the plasma cannon for me. I'm using this as a 40K bike. The plasma cannon is not an option. Okay, so this is an art of the week that was submitted by our brother Thomas. Hellworks by Hellchild. He forwarded this to our our Instagram account, and man, this is a really cool Ultramarines repulsor here. Look at the heat bloom on that turret. See it, freak?
Yeah, I did.
Looks good.
It's not overdone. It actually looks really good.
The dark spots and the highlights on this, you can definitely tell it's airbrushed. It
Yeah.
just looks so good.
Yeah. No, it looks really good. I wish you would have pinned drilled the turret.
Oh, something I missed from Zane when you were showing off the Salamander versus
Uh
Imperial Fist. Zane said the Salamander has a spiky nipple.
huh. That's a little too observant of you, brother.
Also, he says, "What if I put wheels on this floating wolf, the jet bike?" That would defeat. I want it to be Wrath of the Heavens, though, so it's supposed to be a jet bike. I really like that on the Tech Priest they used the darker red here. It looks like a Flesh Terror's red or Horn red. Because I've seen a lot of people use the really bright red for their Tech Marines, and against the blue, it just stands out so much. It like is a garish contrast. Here, though, it's like it matches very well.
Yeah.
Got the darker tones there on the shadows of the repulsor, and the
Gorgeous.
darker tones on the Tech Marine.
Very, very well done. You can see that very well on the backside too.
Yep. So you chop off the paws to make it float. Mark, are you here? I need you. Oh, before Mike left, he said the Mark III helmet on the Mark III Marine armor would be a perfect fit to remove your Johnny Bravo head.
Yeah, that might be something that might try. A good idea.
Right there, I think that fade right there on the color transition looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
It really pops.
Yeah. I like it.
It's one of those things, though, too. It's like it's so over. It's like very overt. It's a very obvious airbrush highlight. It does not necessarily spots where light should be. In the famous Kenny Boucher lines, I am not a light scientist.
Right.
It's very overt, but still, it pops.
It looks great. It is different because typically you see the outer edges would be highlighted, but he did the front and the back highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
Looks great.
You know, that's the thing I always struggle with airbrush highlighting is like, where do I put these highlights?
Yeah. I guess whatever you feel, really good. All right, next one.
What if it had built-in light stand which shines a flashlight on it from one side? Then you wouldn't have to mess with highlighting. I thought was pretty cool, especially with the fire effects on the Stormbolter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool.
And I like the ice spacing.
This is by Radicraft.
Radicraft. Very
Gorgeous
cool work here. Seeing the bullets come out of the Stormbolter gives it a very 3D feel and effect. I mean, it's a model, so it's already 3D, but you know, it just adds to the 3D motion, you know.
I don't know. I think I would have just preferred just the flame. Because it looked like they're doing a slow-mo shot.
Yeah.
I like the glow on the runes.
Yeah, the glow on the runes is pretty cool too.
Yeah. I like the head. Look how cool that head looks.
Yeah, the person did a great job.
Yeah.
I need to get some Cyclone missile launchers for my Terminators.
Oh, I know this guy.
This, I don't have a name on this because this was posted into our group. Brother Richard from the Nerd Life. This conversion somebody did. So unfortunately, I don't have the name. But man, I thought this was such a cool conversion. Somebody took the little Helverin models and turned them into these really cool bikes. And I think they would make great attack bikes for my White Scars. I kind of lament that I already bought attack bikes because this is such a cool looking conversion.
Yeah.
You know, this reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's considered a classic anime. And everybody's like, you've got to see Akira one time if you're an anime fan. I don't agree because I think Akira was just one of those kind of crazy anime that I was like, I've watched it 3 times now, and I'm still not sure why everybody goes gaga over this. But nonetheless, a bike in Akira was very cool because it had the little capsule top like this. And that's kind of what this reminds me of, is like the bike on Akira. Actually, I kind of want to find a picture of it so I can send it to you, so you can see the comparison that I'm making. Akira motorcycle.
Brother Richard did a great job on these, man.
I don't think Richard did this conversion. I think
No, he painted them.
He did?
Yeah, didn't he paint them? I thought he painted them.
I don't think so.
Are you sure? I think that's his. Let me look.
I am not sure though.
Let me look.
I thought he just said, "I want to paint one of these."
Oh, I thought he did it. I could be wrong. Yeah, see. Oh man, my head is.
Either way, it's a very cool conversion.
It is a very cool conversion, man. Pretty cool. Let me see here.
Initiate Operation Drum Titties?
Drum titties.
I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
But yeah, these seem to be painted as Raptors. Seems to be bolter. Looks like a bolter on one side, an autocannon on the other. I would love to do this as an attack bike. You know, the bike with the sidecar.
Right.
and put the twin link bolter on one side and the multi-melter on the other side, and just use that as my attack bite. It'll probably take up the same kind of footprint size. For me and Mark to know and for you to find out. Very curious about it. I want to know what this conversion is for. Whoever thought of this conversion.
Show something like this. So yeah, he says, check this stuff out. So I want to do something like this. So I guess he was. I don't know if he has the pics. I thought that was his. Maybe not. I don't know who he got that from.
Yeah, I mean, probably saw it on one of the Facebook groups or something.
Oh,
but nonetheless, it's an awesome conversion.
Yeah.
Oh man, I kind of wish I had done this. Man, I'd love to steal this idea. I'll have you know, Operation Drum Titties is a highly classified inquisitorial operation. It being an inquisitorial operation, I'm afraid if I find out.
All right, moving on to the next one. I'm sorry about that.
That's all good. I love that conversion.
All right. Shrike.
This one is a Photoshop by our very own Inquisitor Zane. How to make Chaplin emo even more emo.
I know.
By giving him the emo haircut.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Oh man, that is just awesome.
That's so cool.
Oh my goodness. Wow. You can't, dude. You know, it's funny because Chaplin Emo has a skull, right, for his head. But I don't know, dude. I think this looks more emo. I may have to use this one. I'm gonna have to change his voice a little bit.
Zane, you did a great job with this. This looks so cool.
Gosh, yeah, looks real. Looks authentic. Dang, man.
He said there was like no silver on him. Yeah, he said what started out as a simple head swap Photoshop job, he ended up doing a full Photoshop conversion on this guy. Actually, I think he looks better in black and silver too.
Yeah. And this is interesting.
Even Brian says, yes, it's a pretty cool freaking emo.
Yeah. Hey, Brian says that? Man, you know he's not an emo fan.
He says, I'm waiting for it to bust out into a Cure song.
Oh my goodness. This
one is by Lazarus Crusader, also sent to me by brother Thomas over at Hellworks by Hellchild.
Black Templar.
In Hellchild's words says, this is a Crusader done right.
Yeah.
Pretty cool looking. I kind of like the ones with all the markings on them and, all the overt amount of guns.
I've got some Centurions I need to put together.
So.
Yeah. What is it that he has on his fist, though? On that right? What is that?
I don't know.
On his left. I have so much I want to put together.
Brian says, I am Iron Man. Zane says on that Chaplin emo, he says, I changed everything down to the color of the details inside of the cape. I thought the blue was too bright. You did a great job, man. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, man.
I was originally just doing the head and removing the blue on the shoulder, but decided to use him as some practice. Zane says the thing on the other side was a heavy bolter.
Oh, really? Wow, that thing's huge. That's what she said.
pretty cool. Some really. That is a StarCraft Marauder. Oh, pretty cool. Nice music. I'm checking eBay right now. Wahahaha.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
All right.
We got about an hour left in the stream, so we should probably move on to the news. But before we do that, we probably should pay some bills.
We should. Ethos, I feel like crap. Do you mind taking the lead on that one, my man? Is it possible?
Not at all.
Thank you so
much. We want to start off, Jake, thanking the Blood Claw level Jake from Chief Live Gaming. We want to thank our Grey Hunters, Brother Roxas and Brother Zane. And then we want to give big props to the Wolf God. Thank you so much, guys. Help us do what we do and make sure that we do it right. So we really appreciate it, guys. So we got quite a few bits of news, and we've already kind of started with our Johnny Bravo conversation. I guess we should go ahead and talk about the new models, my man. Especially some pretty cool stats to talk about, too.
Let's do it then, man. All right, GW News. Ta-da! Ta-da! What is that? And let me see what that is, because I have no idea what it is.
Zane says that was my first Photoshop that I really put effort into.
Really?
Didn't watch any tutorials in the past few years. Don't worry, I will put some more practice into that height, which will be perfect for you.
Dude, you need to do some stuff. Yeah, do some crazy stuff and pass it our way, because we could probably use it here on the show. I'm just saying. If you got a talent already, holy crap. All right, let me see what the heck this is. I don't even know which one is. Is this one? Yes. Okay, let me. Oh man, I'm so sleepy. All right. I guess we'll do Blackstone Fortress.
All right. We'll start off with the sensational Ogren brothers.
Yes, sir.
The characters for Blackstone Fortress. And a lot of people who play Imperial Guard feel kind of both ways. Some people really like Ogrens, and some people really dislike them. But I think they look pretty cool.
I do too.
The one with this grenade launcher is kind of cool, but the one with the big shield and beat stick, that one looks really awesome.
Yeah, very.
And I love the Bane face.
You like the what?
He's got a face like Bane.
Oh yeah. He would make a good Bane. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
These are great.
War contains full rules for the new characters, so that's pretty cool.
That's pretty neat.
Man, the expression on that face, that's pretty detailed.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of Sloth from the Goonies. Chonk!
He does look like a big goober, doesn't he?
Right? Sloth, love, chunk, Rocky Road? Sorry. That's what he looks like. Sloth, love, chunk.
All right. I just clicked on stuff until I figured it out with Photoshop. Wow. Most I'd ever done before that was cutting up images with giant piranhas on the space background, like 2 years ago. Is that just a standard Bullgrin model or no? Not. It looks like just a standard one with melee and a small shield. I have no idea. I don't know much about Bullgrins.
They look cool. That's all we know.
Yep. Brian says, "Baby Ruth."
Right.
Oh, you've been bad.
Has anybody gotten the White Dwarf? Anybody in the chat?
Yeah, I haven't gotten this one.
Yeah, looks like it's
I tend to pick them up just about every month, but I haven't
yeah.
gotten this one.
All right, we have that, and
Pretty
we'll
cool
go
though.
to.
I definitely think the Malay one looks cooler.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the with the shield. Yeah, it looks really cool. All right, let's see which one this one is. Is. I want to say it's this one. Yeah, that's the one. All right, we're professional here. Ah, I'm gonna read this. I read it in my sultry voice. You may have heard that the two champions of the Adeptus Astartes. Hold on. I don't have the music. Anyway, you may have heard that the two champions of the Adeptus Astartes have recently crossed the Rubicon Primaris. One, a stone-hearted son of Dorn, Johnny Bravo. The other, a hot-blooded scion of Vulcan. Let's skip the potato cam and get straight to the good stuff. All right. So here's a really cool pic of, uh, yeah, salamander, and here is Dad. Hi, Dad. Both of these models are exemplars of their chapter, each resplendent in the glorious heraldry of their founding legion. Let's take a closer look. Let us. I.
Is that right there the brazier on top um, is one of those um, when they show us a picture of something of
Uh-huh.
a teaser,
Yeah.
that was one of the clues.
Oh, yeah. At the end of the. Are you talking about for the flame?
Yeah, the flame thing up there up top. It was
Yes.
one of those black and white pictures that they're like,
Oh, yeah.
upcoming teasers or whatever.
Yeah, we were thinking it might be Russ.
Well, actually, no. This particular, I think we were talking about, it would look like it would be one of the torches on a Sisters of Battle
Oh,
vehicle.
yeah, that's true,
But turns out it's salamanders.
right? Oh, I love the hammer. Dude, look at that.
That
Ah,
hammer looks pimp.
oh, dude, I
I
really like
definitely
this
want a
model.
hammer for one of my Space Wolves. Rumor Engine, thank you,
Uh,
Archer. Yeah, that's why the black and white pictures of upcoming teasers are
uh,
called Rumor Engines.
dude, I super love this model. This just looks
I
so.
love that dragon shoulder pad. I got to show that to you.
Yes. You know
I
what?
love the flames on the greaves.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a great.
Now, what's interesting is the flames at the bottom of that fold,
Yeah.
that battle skirt. Is that freehand? Because I don't want anybody bringing that to me, being like, "Hey, I need you to paint this up." Hey, why aren't the flames there? That's straight up freehand.
I think
Jesus,
that's freehand at Mythos. I don't. Well, I think that's freehand.
that dragon scale cape is awesome looking. I
Oh
can't
my
believe.
gosh!
I'm definitely not gonna be able to recreate that freehand though.
Wow.
I love that dragon plate over his right shoulder though. That looks
Yeah.
so cool.
Oh yeah.
And that flame pistol, I wonder what kind of damage that's gonna do.
Well, we should see the stats here in a minute.
Overall, I think that's a really cool model.
Yes, it is. I love the lava. Yeah, this is great.
Brian says, "Hey, quiet over there. I'm shopping here."
Sorry, you wasted your time. All right.
Just details on that Vulcan guy looks awesome.
Oh, I'm gonna have to download the theme song, Johnny Bravo.
I love that big ass power fist, and I
Yes.
love that it's got like little. It looks like little shots at the
Yes.
end of the knuckles,
Could you imagine? They're like jackhammers or something.
and I think it's cool because my favorite weapon in New Vegas to get is this fist where you punch something, but it's got shotguns built onto your forearm.
Oh wow.
So when you punch something, you punch it, and shotguns blast off your knuckles.
Wow. I like this model. I love it, dude. I love it. He just looks beefy. Uh, yeah.
Hey, I can't even read that. Why are you doing that to me?
I just can't do that. I just.
Hey, brother Steve is here. That's taking the whole fist thing too far. I
Again,
love
it's
that grav gun turret. So while
beautiful
we're
looking.
here, Freak. Well, actually, I'll wait till we come back to face mode.
Yeah.
No, but I wanted to ask you about this model.
All right.
Swap that head for a Mark III helm, and you're good to go.
All right. It says we'll have more information on these models and their upcoming codex supplements next month. In the meantime, let us know who you're looking forward to the most by posting on Facebook, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares.
I'm going to go back to our earlier conversation, Freak, and pull up the stats. I don't know where that came from. Somebody sent it to us.
Yeah. You talk about
See
the
a
leak?
Warhammer community page.
You talk about the leak? Let me see if I can
Yeah,
find it. Hang on. Give me a minute.
yeah, I'm resending it
Oh, okay, cool.
so we can talk about those stats.
Yeah.
But let's go to face because I want to ask you a question.
To Torgotans? All right, Tor Garadon, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. I just switched, man. God dog it. Hold on.
No, right here is good. Just face. I want to ask you. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the fact that they made Tor Garadon this new character to be put through the Primaris Rubicon? I know you really had high hopes of it being Lysander before that would get this, and instead it's this other newer character. And I know this kind of does two things, right? It gives you a new character for the Fist, something. I know he's not really new, but I mean he wasn't a playable character before.
all right.
Um, so instead, you got this new playable character, which actually is kind of a benefit because it lets you keep using the Lysander you were using.
Right.
So do you prefer that they gave you this new character, or do you wish that they had went ahead and Primarisized Lysander? Because I know he's your boy.
Right. I'll be honest with you. I think ultimately I would have preferred that they would have prioritized Lysander. I just think that would have been really, really cool to do. But I'm not mad. I mean, I don't. I'm not salty about the thought that they're giving us another mini, another model, right? Because honestly, this is a great addition here. Although, like I said, I do feel strongly that Lysander would have made a great Primaris, model. I wish they would have done it, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm okay with it. I could still utilize Lysander. I will continue to use him. He is my first captain. So, but Tor Garadon is not a bad model. I mean, he's got a lot of great stats to take on the table, and I think between the two, they can really do a lot of good.
Now this is an interesting one.
Uh,
Archer says maybe you should convert up a Primaris Lysander Freak and
oh,
run him with the regular stats to have the cool new Primaris-sized model.
that would be cool. Actually, take Lysander's head and throw it on here, and use Tor Garadon's stats. I don't know,
That too.
or primitize Lysander. I don't know.
Yeah,
Hey, talk a second, man. I gotta go pay. All
right
right.
on. So if you guys would had a choice, wanted to contribute to Freak's project to make a Lysander into Primaris, what Primaris body would you guys start with? I think a Gravis armor might be kind of cool. Like the Gravis Captain might be a good start. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe an aggressor body and put um, a hammer on him. Maybe even that Vulcan Heston um, Thunderhammer would be kind of cool. And then put Lysander shield on it, put that special Salamander's Primaris hammer on there. I think that might make for a pretty good Lysander. All right, so Lysander triple thick, apothecary. Oh, hey, the apothecary body might make for a pretty good start to a Captain Lysander. Just switch out the apothecary bits for hammer and shield. That'd be pretty cool. I'm really curious what this Operation Drum Titties is. So yeah, I think those are definitely some good suggestions. I don't know. Part of me really likes the Primaris Gravis Captain, though. I think that might make a pretty good start as well. Kind of a static pose for a Lysander, though. An aggressor body would be pretty cool too. In fact, before Marneus Calgar came out with the Primaris size, one of the other channels I follow, Warzone Warlock, has a really cool aggressor conversion for his Marneus Calgar stand, and it looks awesome. So yeah, that would probably make a pretty good aggressor version of Lysander. Good night, Al Kirkham. Starting to fade. Hope you sleep well, buddy. Rule 34, Lysander, shirtless, of course, for the body. What primary shirtless guy could we use for that?
All right, I'm back.
So, Freak, we had a few good suggestions here.
Oh, okay, what do we got?
For making a Primaris Lysander.
Ooh, let's hear it.
Some people, let's see, one person said the Apothecary model would make a good one.
Gary. For Lysander?
Yeah, for just the Primaris body, and then adding, of course, hammer and thunder or storm shield onto it.
Huh? I didn't think about that.
Archer says use an aggressor or Gravis Captain body.
Okay.
To replace the sword arm with the hammer, replace the power fist arm with the shield. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. I think the shield would be a challenging piece because it's really it's large. Well, I guess no. I mean, I could glue it on there somehow. Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, there's some pretty cool ideas there for the Primaris version of Lysander. Just for a cool new scale body. Hey, wait, can we put the dude's head on the new dwarf dude? That'd be cool. Got to show something better. Rule 34 Lysander should be your inspiration.
Yeah.
Running Bear, you says using the shield from Arjak would be cool. Arjak does have a very cool shield.
I know Lysander's shield is pretty amazing. I love his shield.
Yeah, Lysander does have a cool shield. So we might have to get you a second Lysander, my man, so that way you can experiment around with some conversions.
Yeah, I think so. Huh. All right, let's see. Huh.
That's pretty cool. It's awesome that there's there's some Primaris units, or there is now a Primaris unit with a gravity gun too.
Very nice. All right. What's next here?
Nothing better than some Rule 34 Imperial Fists. Oh. Hey, we don't kink shame here. All right, so there's the stats for Torgaradon. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Oh, wait, yeah, hang on. There it is. There we go. Let's see if I can zoom this in. It's kind of. Oh, bloody hell. I think we can see that.
All right, at the very least. Oh, there we go. Oh, well. You ran into the same problem I did.
Yeah.
All right. So we can just kind of read off of it. All right, so movement is 5, weapon skill is 2+, ballistic skill is 2+, strength is 4, toughness 5, which is typical for a Gravis armor.
Right.
Wounds 7.
Yep.
Attacks 5. Getting
right.
6-1 on the charge.
Yep.
That's, 6 swings with that big old power fist is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Leadership 9 and a save 3.
Grav gun 18 inches, I believe. Rapid fire, strength 5. AP -3.
And then typical of gravity guns, it's a damage 1, but if something's got a save of 3+ or better, then it's D3 damage.
Right.
Now that amazing power fist we were talking about is called the Hand of Defiance.
Yep.
This is where you were really impressed.
Yeah, I had to do a double take. ×3. You kidding me? That's 12 strength.
12, yep.
At -3 AP. At 3 damage. Oh my god.
Now, one of the really interesting things here is that so most things, a power fist is going to be strength ×2, right?
Right.
That means a Land Raider, an Imperial Knight, you're still wounding on 4s.
Right.
This ×3 means that even a Knight most things don't go beyond toughness 8.
Right.
But even if you do have like the rare, like a special breed of Chaos Knight can go to toughness 9, even those you're still wounding on 3s, not 4s.
Right.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Compared to Lysander, Lysander has the shield, so he has he's got saves that he can, he can resist a lot of damage for sure. But this guy can dish a lot of damage. So it's kind of interesting the balance there.
Yeah, and even then, his invulnerable save is only one worse because he does have the Captain's Iron Halo, which gives him a 4+ invulnerable save,
right?
As opposed to Lysander's 3+.
3, yeah, right. He does have the rights of battle like Lysander. Rerolls of reroll 1s of attack or attack made by models to friendly Imperial Fist. And add an additional 1 to the damage characteristic of the weapon being used for the attack against vehicles or buildings. So definitely a siege captain.
Yep. Now this is where it really gets interesting because we were talking about before there was a little discussion at which one's better, this one or Lysander, right? But we talked about how they really fulfill different roles because this guy's in Gravis armor. You got to put him in a repulsor to run him up the field, but the best thing I think is to let Lysander take his Terminator bodyguard and do the deep striking. Let them go somewhere out and wreak havoc. This guy's got an ability called Signum Array. At the start of your shooting phase, select one of your friendly Imperial Fist units within 3 inches of this model. Models in the selected unit have a ballistic skill of 2+ until the end of that phase.
That's awesome.
So this is the guy you want on your back lines,
right?
Giving support, giving that re-roll 1s to hit, having them shoot the hell out of your opponents, your Hellblasters, your aggressors, right? Putting them with that DACA Predator that you love, or the las cannon pred that you love so much, or the 4 las cannons on your Land Raider. Let this guy help deal the damage, and then he's just going to pick one of those and say, hey, all these Hellblasters, they're hitting on 2+ now.
Right. I think the
Super
Hellblasters or
much.
Aggressors would be a really good, show of force there.
Yeah. And it's every turn you can do this, right?
Yeah.
So every turn you could be overcharging those plasma guns, hitting on twos, rerolling ones. Pretty awesome.
I do like this. I really want this model. So
So this guy is definitely going to be. He's not only going to be a really powerful model himself, but he's definitely going to be a good force multiplier for
right,
your backline gun line.
right. Yep, I like it, dude.
And what's cool is if you make this guy your warlord instead of Lysander, then you don't have to worry about deep striking Lysander and giving your opponent slay the warlord.
Right.
He can just go out and deal as much damage as he wants, and this guy's sitting safe behind all your tanks, all your shooter units, stuff like that.
Yep. Yep. Agreed.
Nothing's better than some Rule 34 Imperial Fist. Freak knows what I'm talking about. You can tell by the guilt in his face. Alrighty,
Leave me alone.
Alrighty, the Han Solo figure's calling me to fill in gaps and getting it primed. I'm here, just going to be at the bench. Okay, well, cool. Brian's listening to us while getting in some hobby time. I posted that picture of his stat block in the group chat. The three of us are part of earlier this week, right? I'm just saying I didn't know where it came from as far as the stats aren't up on the community page yet. That's all I meant.
Right.
My brother.
Cool.
They want to know what Operation Drum Titties is. Should we tell them or just let them find out? Keep them guessing. Then there's a lot of message retracted saying I've said too much. Interesting.
Here we go.
All right, so yeah, that's our take on the new Imperial Fist unit, guys. Let us know what you think of these stats and stuff like that, and what you think the best uses might be. Definitely, I think his aggressor line is going to be one of the biggest benefits to that. Aggressors, yes, but his Hellblasters too.
I do have another
Squad.
squad of aggressors to put together. So
Don't do that.
oh,
You don't need
that. All right, shall we go to the next piece of news?
Sure.
Lavex Unleashed. Psychic Awakening. So more of this. Psychic Awakening.
All right. So before we saw the Howling Banshee Exarch, right, as part of the Psychic Awakening, and how the Eldar were getting some cool new models during the Psychic Awakening. Now the Dark Eldar are getting a cool new model too. And we'll scroll down a little bit, and you can see how badass this is.
Wow.
Yet it was not the. Oh yeah. How cool is this? I'm not even the biggest Dark Eldar fan, but I can appreciate how badass this model looks.
Yeah.
These double-sided swords, also called Swallow Blades. Swallow Blades are very, very cool, and it just looks so epic on this model. Plus the black and the purple together look very cool. The helmet looks cool on this guy. I can't help but looking at this guy's double-sided glaive here and think of I think of
Darth Maul.
Babe, who is a You Were Not Prepared guy? Oh, she must not be here. From WoW, the guy who goes.
Oh gosh, I know who you're talking about. You are not prepared.
Man, yeah, I quote that all the time and just.
Oh my god!
Thank you, Archer. Yeah, this is what this reminds me of. Is his double-sided glaive there reminds me of Illidan. That's so cool.
It's on
Archer and Brian both popped in Illidan.
Illidan, yes, Illidan. Gosh, that killed me. You are not prepared. Yeah.
I can't believe I blanked out on that.
Me too. But then I blank on everything. So
Because anytime that we're in my group, we're joking about not being prepared for something. We joke about Illidan being there, telling us how unprepared we are.
wow, pretty cool stats.
When the bear fights, select one of the profiles below. Single blade, +1 strength, -3 AP, 1 damage. Using the dual blades, strength user, but -2 AP and 1 damage. Bear fights with dual blades, it can make 2 additional attacks with this weapon. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Very nice.
Like, reminds me of the way Darth Maul, with his double side, gets all those extra hits in. As the deadly fighting elite of the Drukhari, Incubi are sure to be a popular choice, and the new miniatures certainly do them justice. You can look forward to seeing the full unit and learning more about them soon. Gotta get back to WoW Mythos. He has Imperial Fist thoughts on his mind. Actually, I do have a pretty good picture for that.
And more Sisters of Battle stuff.
Of course. With my enthusiasm for the upcoming Sisters of Battle, got to try and be on top of all new Sisters of Battle news that comes.
They got Beakles now. Oh.
All right, so we saw artwork of the coming rhinos and stuff like that, but now we're actually getting to see they finally finished the full model and they've got one painted up by their studio here. That is a gorgeous looking rhino. Very cool. We actually got to see one of these, well, not one of these rhinos, one of the classic Sisters of Battle rhinos. Like I said earlier, our brother Lars brought his sisters. Good night, Atlas, my man. He says, good night, guys. Really
Later,
fun.
buddy.
Really great to see you, buddy. But seeing Lars' Sisters of Battle rhinos and stuff like that was pretty cool. He also had the version, it was not a rhino, it's something else, but it had the flamer on it that he was using to toast our units up. That was a little less fun to see. But really cool seeing his Sisters of Battle tanks on the field. Oh, that's a cool detail. The Sisters of Battle sword strapped to the side of the vehicle.
Yeah, it's really gorgeous.
You can decorate the flanks of the rhino with gilded filigree, the armored exhaust casings with hanging parchments, add icons from any of the main orders to show its allegiance. There's even a relic weapon, and it's gone. Second painted rhino featuring a gunner aiming mounted storm bolter and a variety of alternative details. Very cool. I think this is such a great vehicle here. It's cool because it's a lot like the Space Marine Rhino, but
Right.
different,
Right. It gives a very French Renaissance look.
Yep. I really like the idea that that gunner is there, shooting the storm bolter, but there's also a sword strap next to her in case she needs it.
Yep.
That's so cool.
And
Firing away with the storm bolter and then grabs the sword. Back up, bitch.
that was the last one.
I was mentioning the fire version of the rhino that was melting our troops. Archer says it's the immolator.
Later, yeah.
Very cool. The Sisters of Battle are just a bunch of thoughts that think the Emperor's PP is their throne. They are succubi of Slaanesh, and he goes, and I'm jealous.
Oh.
All right, is that all of our news pieces,
That's
brother?
everything, Bubba.
Grumpy Guy Gaming.
Holy
Good morning, my brother.
cow.
He says, "Good morning to all."
Hey,
Grumpy,
Grumpy.
my man. I was going to send you a message. Just got your package in today, my man. I will be doing an unboxing. Thank you very much. I have
He's
no idea
happy
what's
you
in here
sent-
yet.
he's
Still
happy you
all
sent them your
perfectly sealed
package.
up, but I'm definitely excited to do an unboxing. I like that question. Grumpy Guy, I have a question. Could you possibly be more grumpy or salty than Mythos? I don't know
I
if
don't
it's
know.
even.
I think one day we need to get Grumpy on the show and have you two go head to head with each other and see who could be the saltiest. That would be awesome.
We could be twin channels. He can be Grumpy Guy Gaming, and I can be Salty Guy Gaming.
Yeah, we're like, all right, go, you know? And you got the salt going.
Grumpy Guy Gaming says, "I will have a nice surprise when I open this up." That'll be awesome.
If it's Grumpy, hey, you never know. Could be a picture of his middle finger. Just saying.
Zane's dropping him a sub, which is awesome. Grumpy Guy Gaming.
Oh, absolutely. Guys, go check out his channel.
Yeah, you should look at his series where he's painting Primarchs. The series where he paints Primarchs is, oh my god, just some really, I mean, all of his work is really good, but I love his Primarchs painting series. It's just really exquisite work.
He's a perfectionist. The guy makes me sick. That's how good he is. He's a perfectionist when he paints. And the guy just does great work. Go check out his stuff, man.
I actually had my Russ primed up. Like, I'm going to paint him sometime this year. And then I saw Grumpy's Russ, and I was like, I am way too intimidated.
He also did Adorn, and I think he'll sit there gray. Yep.
Oh yeah, you own one, don't you?
I do. I own a Russ and Adorn, and ever since Grumpy put together and painted his, I'm like, screw it, I ain't touching it. So, thanks, Grumpy. Thanks for ruining my hopes and dreams. Grumpy has struck again.
He's a phenomenal painter, guys.
He is.
He also does a lot of unboxing videos, but when he does do a painting showcase, it's going to be some really exquisite work.
Yeah, just great work. Awesome. Yeah, you guys go pop over there and chuck up a sub. Tell them that Mythos and Freak sent y'all. A lot of love, man. Give him a lot of love. He may be grumpy, but he knows his stuff.
He really does. And anytime we post a video, whether it's a showcase of our painting or one of our vlogs or whatever, he's almost always got some really good advice for us.
Yep.
So he's given us a lot of helpful advice on our YouTube journey here. Whenever we have lighting issues we need to work on, or things of that nature, he always lets us know how we can improve. So we definitely appreciate this guy.
If he was just a chump that didn't know what the heck he was talking about and his stuff didn't look good, I'd be like, who's this guy? Why is he talking? Why is he giving me advice? Hold up. But yo, it's freaking Grumpy. It's Grumpy, yo. This guy knows his stuff. Respect. I don't know why I went all thug, but
He says, thanks guys, working on new tutorials. I would have done more, but working 2 jobs doesn't help with that. Man, I'm just working 1 job, and sometimes I scrounge for time to be able to put out material.
All about the time, bro. You're doing it well. Because you're doing it, man.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're doing it beautifully. It's not rushed work either.
Yep, so definitely kudos to you, my man.
Absolutely.
Also, another shout out, we of course shout out to Grumpy Guy Gaming. Also, a couple other shout outs. Our brother Who Took My Dice put up a few new videos this week.
Steve.
Shout out to brother Rob who put out his showcase
Yep.
of his Ulrich the Slayer this week and his last week and Wolf Lord Tom this week.
Yep.
So really, really, that's another phenomenal painter, guys.
Yeah, man, definitely awesome stuff.
And this guy, I don't think he's done a full-on showcase of his Knight yet, but this guy took his Imperial Knight to the Nova Open and actually got put in the finalists category for the top tier painters all over the world. So he was in the competition with Sam Lenz, Vince Venturella, those kinds of people, and made the list. So, yeah, they said if he went into any other category, he probably would have won. But since he chose to go toe to toe with the greatest in the world, he made finalists, but he didn't win.
That's awesome, dude. We'll do that one day, man. We'll go toe to toe with the greats.
I don't know, my man. I don't know. I think I'll be pretty good one day, but I don't know if I'll ever get that detail. Especially since a lot of focus for me right now is I'm not trying to spend, weeks, months painting up one character and really pushing myself. I'm trying to crank out armies right now, so it's not really a focus for me. Like, I would love to one day get to a Sam Lenz level,
right?
But it's not really a focus for me right now. For me right now, I'm cranking out armies. I want to get to Elf's Donation level, honestly, right now, where I can just say,
it's a good goal.
This army.
Good goal.
There's that whole army.
Yep.
That's where I'm going to get.
That's a heck of a goal, though, dude. To be Elf's Donation level? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I'm thinking about starting Iron Hands tomorrow. Boom.
Yep.
Iron Hands army.
Dude, he just farts and it's there. Iron Hands. Beautifully painted.
So it's just different goals, If I'm like Rob's going for, to be the next Vince Venturella, that's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah. My goal is to one day get to Elf's Donation level.
My goal is to graduate from crayons.
And I'm not hugely along, but I'm proud. I was just telling Freak earlier today that finishing those 3 bikes this past week puts me up to 60 minis for the year. Huh? Not a huge amount, but I keep it all kind of valid right here. So 60 minis for the year. Finished my Wolf Knight. That was my first model of the year. A Chapter Ancient, 16 Tau Infantry, 3 Rune Priests with jump packs, Wolfguard Terminators, a Space Wolf Aggressors, Thunderwolf Cavalry, Stealth Suits, Ultramarine Tests, Shadow Sun, Logan Grimnar with Storm Rider, Elven Necromancer, Ultramarines Intercessors, my Wolf Lord Mythos, Ultramarines Primaris Lieutenant, Hero Forge Mini, some D&D minis, Tau Stealth Suits, and 3 White Scars Outrider bikes. 60 minis for the year.
Make it happen, baby.
With each mini, you are improving, and your motivation, and with your motivation, guys, I have no doubt that you will reach their level. Thank you so much,
man. One day.
That's definitely a huge compliment.
Indeed.
And I mean, that's all we can do is keep practicing. More painting means that we get a little better.
Yep.
Before we close out the show, I want to go over Brother Running Bear's Iron Hand list he sent us.
All right. Hey, before you do that, though, I want to give another plug for another YouTube channel.
Sure.
So it is gaming related, but Mythos and I have been kind of, indulging on some great Let's Plays here lately, and really until our brother Raz, Dark Light Dreamer, starts his stuff back up, we've been really enjoying a lot of some amazing Let's Plays. If you guys like to watch it, Let's Plays, go check out Soul. Help me.
Oversoul?
Yes. Oversoul Gaming.
Yes.
Just type in Oversoul Gaming. He's got some great Let's Plays. Man, we just got through one that is just fantastic. Oh my God.
brand new game, Man of Medan, from
Man
the
of Madon.
producers of Until Dawn. Very similar decision based, quick uh, quick time cutscenes
Yeah,
based game where every decision can
yeah,
possibly save or kill the character you're controlling. It's
yeah.
a group of five, and you're trying to get them all out safely and alive. And very much like Until Dawn, but for me, it's like
Yeah,
Until Dawn, but better because the characters are actually
right.
likable, right? And the story is just as good. I like
There
the
you go.
Winter
Yeah.
story of Until Dawn, but I really like this story about Manchurian Gold here.
Yep.
And
No
both
spoilers.
stories are really good. The only difference is you couldn't, for me at least, the characters in Until Dawn were too much assholes
Yeah.
to really get attached to the character, so you didn't really care if they lived or died. The characters in Man of Medan, however, they're pretty likable.
Yep.
Well, I mean, and of course, your characters are going to be how you make their personality traits. What what decisions you make are going to choose how likable or how asshole they are. But overall, they're a likable group of guys. So it's really investing whenever you have to make a decision on whether or not they're going to live or die. So
Yep.
it's pretty cool.
And the cool thing about it is that it's Oversoul Gaming. The guy is just a straight up nice guy, down to earth. He likes to chat with everybody on the comments too. Just a great guy. So
Absolutely.
go check him out. Oversoul Gaming. All right, Beathos. Kick it.
All right, so Running Bear sent me a list that says this is the list I'm going to play test and see if it's my tournament list. Should be pretty nasty. They don't have the Iron Father and Battle Scribe yet, so I had to type them in. So I start the game with 15 command points, and I will spend one command point on each Venerable Dread and the Leviathan to make them characters for a total of 4. We'll spend 1 CP on the Leviathan to give him a Warlord trait. Wow, that already sounds pretty nasty. The Chaplain Venerable Dread will be my Warlord, and at least that is my plan. I might give him extra relics to the Tech Marine and maybe one to an Eliminator Sergeant. The Librarian will take the stone, give -1 damage to vehicles within 3 inches for free. That's pretty cool. The list will be a dirty pain in the butt, I think. If I castle all the models, it will have a 5-up invulnerable save and a 6-up feel no pain. The list will have 42 autocannon shots, 6 heavy bolters, 2 last cannon shots, and 20 butcher cannon shots with that warlord trait to generate hits of 6 to generate an extra attack for a little extra firepower. Holy crap. All right, so we're starting off. This is a brigade detachment um, with the Iron Father Farios, and a Chaplain Venerable Dreadnought with twin last cannons, the melee weapon, Dreadnought combat weapon, Stormbolter. Librarian with a Force Sword and Stormbolter. Scout Squad with Sergeant with a Chainsword and Sniper Rifle, Heavy Bolter, and then 3 more Sniper Rifles. Tac Squads, 3 regular Space Marines, 1 Bolt Gun and Chainsword, 1 Heavy Bolter. Another one the same way, another one the same way, another one the same way. Oh, I'm sorry. These are all Chainsword and Stormbolters, a little extra DACA. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squads that way. So a lot of bodies there for taking objectives. Skarner, good evening, my man. We've got a Venerable Dreadnought with twin autocannon, double twin autocannon, 3 dreadnoughts that way. So you've got that Venerable Dreadnought there with the Field of Pains, lots of autocannon DACA. Fast attack, he's got Suppressor Squad with 2 Accelerator autocannons, 2 Grab Shoots, and Sergeant with the same thing, Accelerator autocannon Grab Shoots. So he's got 3 Suppressor Squads that way, lots of autocannon DACA there. Eliminator Squad with the Instigator Bolt Carbine and 2 Sniper Bolt Rifles and 2 Camo Cloaks. Very cool. all three of them have camo cloaks. Relic Leviathan Dreadnought with the double heavy flamer and storm cannon, double storm cannon array. So 20 shots there just coming from the storm cannon, and a Thunderfire cannon, with which right now shoots on 2+. So it's very cool. Lots of shots there, my man. Lots and lots of shots.
Good night, Grumpy.
Good night, Grumpy. Or good morning. Got to work. Have fun, guys. Let's see. Just sub, though. Not the Mexican Oversoul, right? Now, this guy lives up north. Skarner, what's happening, gents? What's going on, Skarner, my man? Nothing much. Everyone was subbing to each other, and now we're almost closing out, I believe. Yep, actually, that is correct. Bye, Grumpy. Excited to see future vids from you. Grumpy's content is definitely awesome. They are reviewing someone's list. Running Bear says, just finished my first autocannon dread. Watching y'all, sent you a pic. Let me double check our email.
Oh, I did see that come through, yeah. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Whew.
Did it come up for you?
Yeah. There we go. All right, I just put it in your messenger.
Okay.
Now, Running Bear, you sent me a message earlier this week saying you were still looking for some of those Dread autocannon arms. Are you still looking for some of those? Because if you do, maybe one of these fine people in the community, might be able to work out a trade or something with you. The way you guys distracted me with your Zinch trickery, I haven't done crap with my 8 gigs of footage. I've just sat here. I'm to start editing. All right, so Running Bear, I think, is still looking for some of those autocannon dread arms. So if anybody has access to those, maybe hit him up on the Facebooks or in the chat. And maybe you guys can work something out. Or if you don't know how to get a hold of him, we've got his email address. You could just hit us up, and then we can put you in touch with him. All right, and that's the one that Running Bear managed to knock out tonight while watching the video.
Wow.
He is going to have 3 of those guys, all pumping out a ton of DACA.
Out of autocannon goodness.
Yep. And for my Sikarin, pumping out those autocannon shots because they are very good at killing models with 2 wounds. Running Bear says he's looking for autocannon arms or Aegis Defense Lines gun emplacements. So, again, if you can help Running Bear out, just let us know and we'll put you guys in touch with them. Carter says the old Dread looks so tiny these days. That's true. That's true. The Dreads are coming out bigger and beefier all the time. Well, Fricalicioso, do you have any closing thoughts before we head on out?
Nope, I want Torgaradon. I'll have to do something about his head, but I want the mini. Can't wait.
One little bit of homework, Freak, I'd like you to think about before we come back this next week is think about what you think would be the perfect head to put on that model.
All right, I can do that.
Cool. And you guys can definitely come back and give it another 10 to 15 years. We'll be playing with 1-to-1 scale minis. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They are getting bigger all the time.
All right.
Guys, let us know what you think would be the perfect head replacement for Torgaradon. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, we are going to cut it off right here at 11 because both of us are all medicated up and we are going to go sleep it off, get to feeling better. So, guys, thank you all so much for joining us. We had some really, really cool people here. Skarner, Running Bear, of course, Inquisitor Zane and Archer. We had Brian in the chat. Grumpy Guy Gaming. That was so
Grumpy.
cool.
I like Grumpy.
Of course, Atlas was here for a while.
Yep.
Of course, Darklight was here for a hot minute.
Yep. Brother Roxas was on.
Brother Roxas. It's really cool people on. Of course, Dave was in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Mike Hawkins was in the chat.
Yeah. Brother Mike.
So yeah, lots of really, really cool people. Al Kirkham was here tonight. So we appreciate everyone who joined us.
All 4 of my chins. They were here tonight. They thank you.
Yep. I mentioned we're hanging out with Darklight tomorrow, so he says have a great time tomorrow gaming. Thank you, Rennie Bear. Quizzer Zane says don't leave yet. We got to get these sick bodies to bed, my man.
Oh, any longer.
That guy.
I'd be talking stupid.
Rough night, and he's all medicated up.
Yep. I'm done.
If you guys don't find any, I can get you a print file. Lots of public libraries have printers now. Cool. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining us. If you liked this episode, then grab up an axe and smash that like button.
We love you.
And the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below. Be part of any of these crazy chats that we have going on our awesome Friday nights. And, if you guys feel like it, head on over to Patreon and check out what kind of cool stuff we have there. And, of course, if you guys are not yet subscribed to this channel, then
Come on.
that guy
This guy.
and this guy,
That guy.
we'd love to have you as part of our pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys, stay frosty.
Frosty.